Hi there, my name's Cathi from Software Solutions, and you're looking at one of a collection of videos to do with Microsoft Outlook. If you like our videos, please like or subscribe just to let us know that we're on the right track. Now, what I want to show you is when you are creating a new email or replying to an email, there's some options that you may or may not be interested in. I've got a new email in front of me, and let's say I head to the Options tab in the ribbon. We went in here in an earlier video to turn on the BCC, for example, and that's why my BCC field is showing here. But what I want to do is look at these buttons, starting with Use Voting buttons, heading to the right. Use voting buttons is when you want to send out a quick question and you need people to vote on a single question, and you want to be able to give them options so that they can easily vote and you can easily track and tally those votes. If I use the voting buttons, I can then choose for just two options: approve, reject, yes, no, or three options: yes, no, maybe. But maybe I want to create a custom voting option, and my options might be Tuesday or Tuesdays, semicolon, Wednesdays. So semicolon is what we use to separate each option that you want to appear in your vote, and maybe Thursdays. So I'm asking them which days work best for them as far as a lunch and learn session. Is it Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays? So then I'll go close. And then I'll put the question, which day is best for you for a lunch and learn each week? Please click the vote button and choose a day. Now, so that's the voting options there, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and I'm just going to then just hit send. What will happen is they'll receive an email. Oh, let me just type a subject, please vote, and let me just send it to 7 and SSPC 2. And so when I hit send, basically voting buttons have been added to this message. When they double click and they open up the message, they'll see at the top that there's the option to vote, and they'll be able to choose either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you'll be able to tally those results. I'm just going to hit send and send that email. Now, let me just hold on for a second. Okay, so I sent my email asking people to vote. I've got one reply here regarding Wednesday, regarding the vote, and it's from SSPC2. And when I click on it, this sender responded with Wednesdays. So I've received a result from SSPC2, Software Solutions PC2 has voted, but Software Solutions PC7 hasn't voted. In fact, if I go to my sent items and I go to the email that I sent, and I double click and open it, I can actually see that I sent it to both of these people and I've only had a response from one. Now, the other thing is I was sent a vote myself from SSPC2, so it's come in here. And this is how it looks if you receive it. So I've received an email saying, would you prefer paper form or electronic when it comes to remittances? And it says, please double click the message. Let's do so. And in the ribbon, click the voting button. There it is there. So that's how the voting button appears. If I didn't double click the message, it's actually difficult. You can't see the voting button. So until people get used to the feature, you may have to educate them by putting a sentence in here that tells them to double click the message, go to the vote button, and then they can choose either paper or electronic. So this person has created a voting button with two options. They've typed paper, semicolon, electronic, and then people can choose. So I'd like an electronic version of remittances from now on. So I'll choose that option. I can edit the message if I want to have a bit of a note to go with it, but I just want to send the response now and okay. So the person that is SSPC2 will receive an email that basically says Cathi at Software Solutions has gone for electronic in the remittances email. So it's your way of quickly asking a single question and getting people to vote on it. Okay, another thing you can create is what we call a poll. So I'm going to go new email. Now here where I went to options, and let me just click in the message area, use voting buttons, poll is an option here. And so this creates an instant poll, again asking one question. So I choose polls, And here is my question. Input your question here. So I might say, what should we go here? What was, hang on, let's have a look. Let me just think for a second what would be a good poll to have. Maybe dietary requirements. Okay, so dietary requirements. So we might say none, or we might say vegetarian, or add an option, gluten-free, vegan, what else, dairy-free, or other. And we might let them choose multiple answers because they may be vegetarian and gluten-free. So you can allow them to choose multiples. So we're basically asking, do you have any dietary requirements? Do you have any dietary requirements? Question mark. So there's your question, there's your options, and then I just go next. And so this is what it will look like. And they'll be able to vote on one or more options. So I'm going to add it to the email. So we wait for this little thing to load, and if I go next, why did that come up? Add to email. I should have got a hyperlink appearing in my, there it is there. Sorry, a little bit of a glitch again. Do you have any dietary requirements? This is what they'll say. You can go back and edit it if you need to, but I'm just going to send, and a copy is going to be sent to me. That's happened automatically. I'm just going to send it to a couple of my PCs so I can show you what the response will be like. And that one there, and then you just hit send. Now what they'll do is they'll actually click this option here and they'll vote. Let me hit send there. Now a copy should come into me because I was in the CC. So here is a copy that's come into me. So I'm allowed to vote as well. And so where a poll looks a little bit different is it's obvious. It's straight here. You don't have to double click the message to see the voting button. Immediately you can see your options here, and you just view or vote by clicking this hyperlink. Now let me bring this into view. What will come up will be this. And so I'll vote and say I'm actually vegetarian, and please put your email address here. So Cathi, and it's not autofilling, so I'll just go softwaresolutions.co.nz and I'll vote. And so that sends a vote, and one person, which is me at the moment, is vegetarian. Refresh the results if you need to be updated. So it's just a way that you can quickly, and if I close this, you can quickly yourself view and vote on a certain thing. So if I click that again and view the results, I can see one person has voted as vegetarian. So a poll, I think, is a little bit more obvious than the voting buttons, and it's easier to see the responses. So I actually prefer a poll if I've got a single question that I want to throw out to people. Close that and open up a new email and look at what else is under options. So that's your voting buttons. Now here you've also got two tick boxes where you can request a delivery receipt and or request a read receipt. The delivery receipt will just come back and say that the email was delivered on this date and this time. And the read receipt will pop up and say to the recipient, the person who sent you that email would like a receipt saying what date and what time you read it. Now the person at the other end can say, no, I don't want to send a receipt. So it can have limited ability, but it's something you can tick if you want to on a case-by-case basis. Another option here is save the sent item. Sometimes we don't want to save the sent item because we're just filling up our sent items folder with a whole lot of little unnecessary emails. Or we do want to save it and we just want to go to the default folder, which is the sent items folder. But sometimes we choose another folder. We want to save this sent item, not in the sent items folder, which is the default one. We want to save it into a different folder. That's what that button does. I don't tend to use that too much. What I do is the delay delivery. Often when I create an email, it's because I know I'm going to be teaching a class or I'm going to be away from my office and I want that email to go automatically at a certain day and a certain time. So if I delay delivery, I can say what date and what time this email is to be delivered. Now that assumes that your machine is left on and logged in for that to work. But you can delay delivery. Instead of sending somebody an email at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can delay delivery and say, look, just send them to them at 9 o'clock in the morning. So that's quite handy. And untick that when you want to take that off. So if you delay the delivery, it'll sit in your outbox, and until your computer or your system clicks over to that date and time, then it'll send it. I use that option so much that I've actually got it added up here in my quick access toolbar. Let me right click and remove it. How I add it up there is just to right click this button, add it to my quick access toolbar. And the reason I do that is it means that I can stay in message and I don't have to go to options and click the button. I just click up there whenever I want to delay the delivery. I use that so much, it's handy. And I'll just turn that off and close. Now the other thing in options is direct replies too. So you may send an email to somebody, but any replies to their emails are to be redirected to somebody else. So maybe you're initiating the joining of two people and now you want to back out. You're not part of it anymore. You're just the initial instigator. Or maybe you're going to be away and any replies to their emails are to be directed to whoever's covering you. So you can actually direct replies to this email from people to somebody else. So those are a few of the options that I think are really handy. BCC, voting buttons or polls, receipts, saving or not saving the sent item, delaying the delivery of an email, and directing replies to somebody else. I do hope you've enjoyed this email. Please come back for some more cool ideas in Outlook, and please like and subscribe so I know I'm on the right track. See you soon. Bye.